Everyone, this is Faze and welcome to my channel. Today I am really excited because first of all, this is the first video that I'm filming in 2025. And second, this is the first time that I'm going to be taking a look at a device from 15 years back. We're always talking about, the products of the present and the products of the future, right? But now I'm going to be going back in time to be looking at a device that I really, really love. And it basically revolutionized the way we look at mobile computing, and that is the iPad. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, then you probably know how big of a fan I am of the iPad. And I use the M4 iPad Pro as my main computer, and I also use the iPad mini as my device for content consumption. Now we're going to be looking at the device that basically started it all, and that is the original first generation iPad. Yes, today I'm going to be showing you guys the original iPad that came out back in 2010. And I remember watching the keynote when Steve Jobs got on stage and announced it. I'll be very honest, I was one of those that kind of laughed it off. I thought it was just a bigger iPod Touch, and to be honest, it kind of was at the time, but it's just so cool to see where that product was then and where it is now. So I went on eBay, I found someone that was selling it, and I decided let's buy it. And it literally just came in the mail. So what my wife did is while I was out at work, she took the iPad. It didn't really come in its original packaging anyways, so she just took it and put it in this sleeve that I really like. It's a sleeve that I use for my M4 iPad Pro. It's a beautiful sleeve from Comfyable. So she put it in here and said that when you're back from your meeting, it'll be here ready for you to check out. So apparently she already kind of set it up and everything. And now I'm going to be taking a look at it. So I thought, rather than me looking at it first, why not share that experience with you guys? So here it is. It's in the sleeve, and let's take a look. Okay, here it is. Oh my God. Guys, this is the original iPad, the first generation iPad that Apple announced back in 2010. And like I said, I got this from eBay. It's not in perfect condition. There are some dents and stuff here, nothing too bad. And obviously in the back, whoever got this got it engraved. So it says Happy Holidays, Christmas 2010. And whoever sold it to me, I guess, scratched out the rest. But wow, there is quite a bit of heft to this. I mean, back in its day, this was a super thin and light device, right? But now, wow, this has a lot of heft to it. Like, dang, okay. And as you can see, that this was the first Apple product that kind of had a hump to it. So like, it's not perfectly, I don't know how well you can see it in the camera, but it's not like perfectly flat. It's slightly curved. So that's pretty interesting. I totally forgot all about that. But yeah, that's the interesting design choice that Apple made. You have the old 30-pin dock connector right here in the bottom. You obviously have the home button. So weird to see and be holding a device with a home button now. You've got the volume rocker, the mute switch, the lock button up top here. And obviously you also have, I almost forgot, the audio connector. And you literally just had one speaker right here. You just had one speaker. That is so interesting. And let's see what else. And then the bezels are very thick. Like, oh my God, these are some very, very thick bezels. And I think at the time, I remember Apple saying it has these, small borders around it, but this isn't small. Like, this is very, very thick. It wasn't until the iPad Air, which was the 5th generation iPad technically, where they reduced the bezel size. But these are some ginormous bezels. But anyways, let's turn this on now. All right, so I made my first mistake right away, which was I just tapped on the screen because, with the latest iPhones and iPads, you just tap the screen and it turns on. This doesn't have that functionality. So you have to physically hit this top button right here, or the home button, I guess, to turn it on. And wow, here we go. Dang, this screen looks pixelated as hell. So this is running iOS, I think 4.0 or 5.0. I don't know which one it's running. We can check that out, but clearly this is not the latest iOS. And wow, the slide to unlock. This is like full on nostalgia right now. So anyways, let's slide to unlock it. And here we go. Here's that, that home screen that I think we all have been accustomed to for those who grew up with this generation of iPad or iPhone, right? See, as you can see, there's nothing really loaded on here. It's just the basic stock apps that come with the iPad. And in a second, we're going to see if any of these apps work, because I'm seeing YouTube on here, but I don't think YouTube is still compatible. And we'll see how Safari functions and if we can even download anything from the App Store. All right, so let's go into the settings very quickly. All right, so this is running iOS 5.1.1. All right, and then if I want to adjust the brightness or something, I don't need to go into settings for that. What if okay, so all right, when you swipe down, you get the notifications, right? And I remember you had this little notification bar that kind of floats, that kind of just bounces out from the top. Clearly, I don't have any notifications. Scroll from the right-hand side, that's where you get the control center. But on here, if you have to double click the home button, and that's where you see all the apps that are open. This was the multitasking bar, and it wasn't even true multitasking. It just kind of paused where you last left off in that app. And I think when you scroll all the way to the left, that's where you get the screen rotation lock. You can adjust the brightness, as you can see, play, skip, or go back with this music you're listening to, and adjust the volume as well. So that's pretty much what Control Center was for back in its day. But anyways, I'm going to connect the Wi-Fi on here, and we'll see what we can use or what we cannot use. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the App Store. Let's download some app. Oh, okay. Cannot connect to the iTunes Store. Let's try that again. All right, so it looks like the App Store does not work. Let's try iTunes. All right, same thing. Doesn't work. Wow, so you cannot download any apps on this at all. Let's see if my movies show up. Nope. Let's go to store. Wow. So this is completely not functional at all. Let's do YouTube. I doubt this will work. Cannot connect to YouTube. Let's just browse the internet. Let's see if anything pops up. So let's go to Google. Okay, Google comes, but clearly this is the old school Google, not the new type. All right, let's go to something like Apple. Let's go to apple.com. Super slow. Like, this is super slow. Wow. All right. The page doesn't load correctly at all. It's super wonky. Let's just click this. Everything's super duper slow. All right, the page doesn't even load. Okay, never mind, does load, but yeah, super wonky. None of the images pop up. Let's just try one other site and call it a day. Yahoo Mail. It's loading. Okay, something's coming up. Yeah, this is like the worst experience ever. All right, so Safari is not usable. You can't download any apps on there. Yeah, so no, this device is definitely not usable in 2025. All right, guys, so this basically wraps up my video on the, I was about to say the all-new iPad. I'm so used to saying that, right? No, here is the old, original, first-gen iPad. And like I said, nothing really works on this. You cannot use this in 2025, but it is a great vintage product. It's almost like it's almost like art in a way to have it in your house. And I'm really like that. So yes, I will kind of keep it on display because it's artistic in a way. But this is what really changed the game. And if you are a big fan of iPads like I am, then wow, we have come so freaking far, right? This almost makes me wonder if you checked out the new Apple Vision Pro, right? That's a first gen product. I wonder how that's gonna be like 15 years from now. And I joked about it in one of my videos that, we can see like glasses, like smart glasses version of the Apple Vision Pro. It might be called Apple Vision Air or whatever, right? But to be honest, 15 years from now, we might be able to get that, because if you compare the latest iPads, whether it's the standard iPad, the iPad Air, the Mini, the Pro, and compared to this, those are leaps and bounds way different from this, right? This is a completely different device now. It doesn't even feel like an iPod. Now I can say this feels like an overblown iPod Touch, and the bezels how do we even use this? But then again, back in the day, this was completely normal. But at the end of the day, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you next time.